live. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome to B&T Sports Talk Show. And let me get in the picture. All right. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday evening as we are prepared to talk about the NBA as the play-in start next Tuesday. Both our teams are involved. The East is on Wednesday. Everybody's set, and the playoffs are upon us. So exciting stuff. I had a bunch of 12:30 games in the middle of a Sunday in the NBA, which was interesting. So I got to watch lots of NBA today. Hopefully you guys did too. B, man, how you doing?
Oh man, I'm good here, dude. It's Sunday, getting over a little bit of a sickness, I guess. I don't know what's going around, man, but it had me floored for at least a couple of days. So feeling a lot better here. But hey, man, we're here. Playoffs are upon us here. I don't know about you. I am excited for it. I'm excited for my matchup which we'll talk about here. But let's get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, folks, as always, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. Hit the notification button. Hit a like on the video, or do all three. We appreciate it very much. Well, like you said, B, let's get right into it. Obviously, there were a couple of games today. Both our teams were involved. Lakers played the Pelicans, which actually had some play-in implication because we needed to stay in the 8th seed. We did not want to fall to the 9th and have to play 2 games in order to get a playoff seeding. So with the win today, which, by the way, was an absolute blowout. So I don't know if the Pelicans, did they know that they had a chance to get the 6th seed, or did they just kind of figure this is 7th seed? I think we're okay with this.
I think they were okay with the 7th seed matchup just because they know they could get the Warriors again, and they've handled the Warriors a couple of times. Now, I'm not saying that my team is going to advance. We'll talk about that in a little bit here.
Yeah.
But they have a legitimate shot here. So I think the 6th seed was just out of question here. I don't think Phoenix was really going to lose to who they
Minnesota.
played. Minnesota.
Yeah,
Minnesota had walked it in. They're taking the 3 seed. So I just think that there was nothing really that the Pelicans were going to do. Or I think the Lakers just came out with that sense of urgency that you've been waiting to see. You know, if you get a playoff performance like that from the Lakers, who knows where that could take them, because both teams played their starters all game.
Yeah, it was definitely a playoff atmosphere. The Lakers came out like gangbusters. They were up by more than 20 for a good portion of the game. It wasn't even close. Zion Williamson had a crap game. He never plays well against LeBron. He never has. As many times as I've seen them match up. And let's be clear. I saw this stat. I mean, Zion Williamson has only played more than 50 games twice since being in the league. He's been in the league 5. I think this is 5th year. So it's not like this happens a lot. But anytime I've seen them match up, or him against LeBron, he's the one guy in the league that's the same size as him and is just as strong. So he has a little hard time getting where he wants to on the floor. So not a great game for him. And I thought the Lakers actually played a little bit of defense. Obviously having AD back helps out a lot. He pretty much is their defense, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, like you said, B, the intensity that they showed in this game, this is the intensity that they'll probably have throughout the remainder of the play-in / playoffs. Now, will it be enough to beat or advance out of the first round? We can definitely talk about that. Maybe we should. We talked about this in the last show.
Yeah.
Who they playing? So you had Minnesota, Oklahoma, and the Nuggets. And the one team the Lakers cannot beat is the Nuggets. Yet, if they win this game, that's who they'll be matched up against, man. I gotta be honest with you. I'm not. I'm a fan, so I want to see them beat the Nuggets. Of course, I do. But man, that's a steep hill to climb. It's gonna be very difficult to beat that team in a 7-game series, man. What you think on that?
It's the Nuggets damn near had the number 1 seed locked up before messing around with it here.
Yeah.
I mean, at the beginning of the day, you had 3 teams in the West fighting for the 1 seed here. But look, they're the defending champs. Nikola Jokic is probably going to end up with another MVP this year. Let's be quite honest with that.
Over SGA?
I think over SGA.
Oh,
I think no, dude. SGA had a really, really great year here. Now, the history has proven generally the team with the top team Generally, their best player will win MVP, and rightfully so. I think SGA, really dominated for OKC, but to the matchup against the for the Lakers to see the Nuggets here, look, it's you got to be able to go after Jokic consistently. He is not a shot blocker. He barely moves his feet around the
Yeah.
rim. He is not a rim protector. Don't settle for jump shots. You can get to the rim against Jokic here. I think where it's really going to hurt them the most is the guard play and the perimeter play of the Denver Nuggets here. Michael Porter Jr., you got KCP.
Hmm.
Obviously, you got Jamal Murray
Jamal
as
Murray.
well
Yeah.
here. Aaron Gordon as well here. So it's a really tough out when you really look at it from a matchup standpoint here. Obviously, it's gonna whoever's on LeBron will offset each other with that there here. But when you look at Austin Reeves versus Jamal Murray, I honestly would give the upper hand to Jamal Murray in that case there, just because of his productivity all year. Where Austin Reeves, or not Austin Reeves,
D'Angelo
why am I blanking
Russell,
on?
either one.
Oh, I forgot D'Angelo Russell
Yeah.
too. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tough matchup for either of those two guards against Jamal Murray here. When you look at the point output as well, I mean, Jamal Murray could go for 30 quicker than, most guys in the league here. So I think it's going to present a pretty tough matchup here. But I think it's all going to depend on AD versus Jokic. Should should the Lakers make it out of there, because AD went out with the apparent back injury today
Yeah.
as well here.
But
And so what they say.
the report is that he'll be okay and he'll suit up for the next game. And although I'm kind of jumping the gun, I should start with the Pelicans, right? They have to beat the Pelicans before
They got
get
a
there,
good
right?
team too, man.
So
They do have a good
we
team.
saw
Let's
them
not put
play
it
each
past
other.
them.
We saw them play each other today, and realistically, and I have to look at the head-to-head matchup, but just from watching the Lakers all season, we played pretty well against the Pelicans. Anthony Davis specifically, historically, plays very well against the Pelicans, especially in New Orleans. So, and my prediction is that the Lakers will end up beating the Pelicans. I think the amount of push that the Lakers will have will be at an all-time high because they've got some older players, specifically LeBron James, who would love to win one game and take the rest of the week off. That's ideally what you want to do, right? If you
Yeah.
lose this game, you're going to have to play another game, and that's going to push you into the end of the week. And as we've seen before, that last team that has to win those two games, they end up playing that first round of the playoffs. What is it, like 3 days later, or something to that effect?
Yeah.
That the same week,
Yeah.
that same weekend. So it's not a situation that old LBJ wants to be involved in. So I look for the Lakers to come out and really play strong. I look for LeBron James to play really strong. Guys are going to be playing 40 minutes. And I think the Pelicans really they're up and down. And, some games they can knock down the 3-point ball and they look great. But one thing I saw today that's prevalent with them defensively, they suck on defense. And they give up a lot of in the paint baskets. And that's where the Lakers live. So, and they have absolutely no matchup for LeBron James. They can try to put Zion Williamson on him, but
I don't think he's going to last in that matchup.
He's just not defensively sound enough to stay in front of LeBron, and I don't think that's going to work out in their favor. So I am definitely, this is my prediction, I'm taking the Lakers to win that game and take some time off before they play against the Denver Nuggets. Oh gosh. So
I think this is a tale of two different teams here. The Lakers are terrible of defending the 3-point shot here.
Yeah.
And you hit it right on point there. The Pelicans just went into Golden State and shot lights out from 3-point land. I think it was Trey Murphy damn near couldn't miss.
Yeah.
CJ McCollum was coming off back-to-back games. He had dropped 9 in Portland. I think he dropped 7 against Golden State here. They've got some, and then Brandon Ingram's coming back. But I don't think Brandon Ingram is just ready just yet. He's been out for a while, and then he gets thrown into a game like this, turns around. You gotta kind of pick it up going forward here. So the Lakers' problem is defending the 3-point line, but the Pelicans' problem is stopping anyone from the inside, because as small as the Warriors were, The Warriors were still getting offensive rebounds against them. They could get to the bucket at any point there. So this mismatching defense here is who will bend the quickest here. Can the Lakers know that they need to live inside of the paint, all well knowing that they have to rely on New Orleans not to get hot from that 3-point line, because they could do it in a heartbeat here. And we've seen the Lakers just give up three after three,
Yeah.
time and time again,
Well,
with that defense there.
and I
So
and I will say one thing that was promising is defensively when they came out in this game, they did make an effort to keep guys, or at least push guys up, or I should say defend at and above the 3-point line, which they are not prone normally, what they don't normally do. And I thought they did a good job of that. Even in situations where maybe you get beat with the back cut or a guy gets around you, you still have AD to rely on. So I don't think there's an excuse for them to play behind the 3-point line or allow guys to catch the ball off curls and screens like they did with the Warriors, where the Warriors just got every single open 3-point shot that they could have ever wanted,
yep.
because the Lakers made no adjustment and didn't do anything to stop pick and roll offense or that Curry curl off the pick, that same play over and over and over again. So they did a better job against the Pelicans. We'll see if they can carry that over, and see if they can get it done. Braun out played a great game. AD 30 points. So I think it's gonna be more of the same, to be honest with you.
I think the difference though is the way the Warriors get their 3-point shot is a lot of back picks, a lot of
Yeah.
elevator plays. New Orleans really doesn't have anything designed to get a 3-point shot open. It's just, they're kind of catching fire and pray to God that all this
The
goes
ball
in,
goes
and it
in.
just,
Yeah.
for some reason, it works for them here. So I think that's just the difference as far as the Lakers game planning to defend that 3-point line is, they don't they don't have a guy like Curry who's consistently moving. CJ McCollum's not that guy. Brandon Ingram is not that guy. Trey Murphy, not that guy. So the Lakers really don't have to worry about these back screens, these off ball picks, getting guys open here. They just need to literally just defend the 3-point line
Yeah.
here. So I think it's going to be a challenge in that part, but that's really hoping that New Orleans can get off on a hot start here, because that's what they did against the Warriors. They got off to a hot start from the 3-point line and they just picked up momentum. As long as the Lakers can avoid that there, Jonas Valanciunas, I mean, he's kind of like Jokic. He's not a rim defender. He's even a little more lethargic than Jokic getting up and down the court. So AD can have a field day
Yeah.
against a guy like
And
that.
strangely, he only played 7 minutes today. I have to look up to see if he somehow got hurt, or if
Oh,
there was,
they probably just
or they
rested him.
just
They
pulled him
probably
out.
just rested
Yeah, he
him.
only played seven
Yeah.
minutes, so maybe they were just trying to give him some more time. But yeah, again, I think they can get it. I hope that they do. It's a big game, but like you said, B, and you made a great point. You got to look out. You got to start playing from the moment the ball is tipped, from tip. You cannot wait. This isn't going to be a wait and see game, and we saw that in the game today. The Lakers came out, played at a frenetic pace early, and really put the pressure on the Pelicans early at the rim. So I'm looking to see them do the exact same thing next time. But hey, man, we got to talk about the Warriors. I mean, the Warriors took tonight off because they kind of knew where they were going.
Well, before we talk about them, we
Yeah.
got Drunk in the comments, man.
What Drunk
Drunk,
got?
welcome to the show, man. We always appreciate you having here with us, man. He goes, the thing about the Pelicans is they don't have a real superstar, and a team with a real superstar will always beat them here. I mean, he's not too far from that. This is Zion Williams' first taste of any sort of playoff, if I assume that correctly.
Yeah.
So, CJ McCollum is probably the most experienced playoff guy on there just because of his runs with Portland, and their matchups with the Golden State Warriors there. So he's a little battle proven here. But other than that, I think the teams with no superstar are the scariest teams, because when you look at it, they don't have much to play for. It's the pressure's not on them. The pressure's on Los Angeles to go with that route there. And it just helps that they're playing at home. So I don't think that superstar factor will hit them just yet. If they get out of this, I think that superstar factor will hurt them should they make it past the playing tournament.
Yeah.
And then he goes, I'm not even from Cali, from that, but the hat is fire. Thanks, man. Shout out to NorCal Surf Shop. This is it's a hometown based shop here. They do amazing hats like this, different colors. I just got to rep the orange and black because it's baseball season. So, I had to get to it. He goes, I lost a live bet on AD under points because I kept expecting Darvin dumbass Ham to sit AD up 25, but he kept him in all game.
Yeah, this was. I mean, at some point I thought they should have pulled him and LeBron, but here's the deal. Like I said, this is all about not being able to get the rest of the week off. Like these LeBron was on his head to make sure he was impactful within this game. The Lakers do not want to play a second game. They want to win Tuesday, take the rest of the week off, and then start a new one Saturday or Sunday or whenever the games start. So there's a lot of motivation to get that done. And I think that's why AD saw the additional minutes, even though he ended up leaving with a back injury in what felt like garbage time. But we'll see. He said reports are he'll be able to play. So we'll see. We'll see.
Let me ask you this here. He brings up Darvin Ham. If Darvin Ham loses this game, what happens? Is he fired?
Well, if they don't win a championship this year, I think he's going to get fired anyway.
So he's fired either way then.
Yeah, technically, yeah. I mean,
is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because look at it this way: if all of last year, the problem and the issue was, it's Russell Westbrook, right? It's the Russell Westbrook experiment. It messed up the first half of the season. They were dealing with that. They make the trades. They go on a run. They get all the way to the Western Conference Finals, and they lose. They take that same team, although there were some injuries, put them together, higher expectations, and they have nearly the same record as they did when they had Russell Westbrook at the halfway point. And then
nothing's changed.
Then the same thing happened. They kick it up into another gear, but the only problem is the rest of the rest of the West also kicked it up into another gear. So I don't know. You can't really. I don't know if you can expect a coach or expect a team to come in. It can't be expected that y'all are going to crap off the regular season only to play the last 2 months or month and a half and then get to the Western Conference Finals. That's not going to happen every year. It doesn't work like that. Like you have to do something consistently for the regular season to show that you're a better team.
And Drunk comes in and says, "Bro said he fired either way with this."
I said unless he wins a championship. Drunk, I'm not very high on Darvin Ham because of all of the different lineups we had in the first part of the season. Their defensive approach to the game is awful. They depend entirely on AD to get things done. And I don't feel like Darvin Ham has enough command in the room to be able to tell LeBron what he can or should not do. And since he doesn't, we go as LeBron goes. LeBron complains about a call, we all start complaining about a call. LeBron stops playing defense, they all stop playing defense. LeBron doesn't show up one day, we win the game. It doesn't make any sense. So it's just I don't see any consistency in this team whatsoever. And more often than not, when the team is that inconsistent with that much talent, I'm sorry, I'm going to look at the coach, man. I'm going to look at the coach.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and the team has talent. I just don't think Darvin Ham has pulled that talent from these players here. But, dude, I mean, realistically, you sitting there saying that the Lakers are winning the championship this year.
No, I'm saying if they don't, he's getting fired. We're talking about him getting fired.
Okay, so that offseason.
I would love. Hey, he wins the championship. He's going to remain the coach. But outside of that, no, he's probably gone. Because you know what's going to happen in the offseason, right? Trade rumors, this and that. It's all going to be up in the air. Not only that, but you got another coach in LA with the Clippers that might be available this offseason.
I think. Well, we'll talk about that a little later on. But I honestly think if the Clippers make a deep run, I don't think he goes anywhere.
Yeah, you're right. But if they make a deep run, they're playing the Mavs. They're playing the Dallas Mavericks in the first round.
I remember the last time those two played in the first round. That was a hell of a first round matchup there.
Yes, it was. It was a great matchup. So there's no guarantee at all, really, for any of these teams, but especially not the Clippers.
True that. Well, we'll talk about my team.
Yeah, let's talk about the Warriors.
Because we get Sacramento one more time. Woo! Those Sacramento Queens, man. This couldn't have fell on Sacramento. This could not have fallen on our lap any better. Now, granted, we probably wanted the Lakers, but this is a better matchup for the Warriors here because Sacramento is damn near spiraling right now here. They lost Malik Monk for the remainder of the season. Obviously, it's do or die. So when you really look at it, you're counting on Sabonis and you're counting on uh, Fox to really carry this De'Aaron Fox to really carry this team here. And can they do it? I'm going to tell you right there, no, they cannot here. The Warriors are a different team since January. The end of January, they've been the second best team outside of the Boston Celtics. And you would think with a 10 game over 500 record, it would show, but that's how deep the West was this year. It was the fact that they went on a 7 game winning streak before the end of the season and still stayed in the 10 hole here. That's how deep this West was here.
Yeah.
But the Warriors are a different team here. And I think a lot of it is on the shoulders of Trace Jackson Davis, the rookie who took over the center position over Kevon Looney and has now played some really good basketball here. You got Klay Thompson also starting to find his stride here, but he's also going to be the X factor because we've all seen Klay Thompson get over. He tries to shoot himself out instead of getting to the basket here. Yeah. He continues to shoot from the three here and until he makes one instead of seeing one go into the bucket there. And he has taken some really, really bad shots in the postseason that I wouldn't say it cost the Warriors the game, but really slowed down their pace here. He did it last year against the Lakers in Game 6, where he was just shooting wild threes instead of, keeping the ball moving here. So this is going to be, I'm not worried about it just because it's Sacramento. Yeah. But look, it's a 9-10 matchup. The Warriors cannot afford to lose because if they lose,
that's it.
That's it. But then you have the question of do they keep the big three? Because time's ticking. Everyone's on a 2-year deal outside of Klay Thompson. Is this core enough with the young players to make a run in the finals? And I'll tell you this, right now that answer is no.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing with Sacramento is they play at a frenetic pace, which I think the Warriors can definitely keep up with if they're going to not play defense. Yep. So that's why I think it's definitely an advantageous matchup for the Warriors because both teams can really score. The only difference is the Kings having a scoring threat inside with Sabonis. We saw what Sabonis was last year against the Warriors. He did not play very well at all. So I think that might be the only X factor there is can Sabonis be bigger, better in this game, in which case could help the Kings at least make it more of a matchup because if Sabonis can come in and get fouls on guys like Draymond Green and Trace Jackson, and make it so that the Warriors have to pay attention to what's happening inside, that'll for sure change the game on the offensive end, especially in the half court for a sack. But even with that being said, you got Steph Curry out there. You don't have anybody to defend anybody as far as I can see. I mean, no, there aren't very, very many defensive players on the Kings team. The Warriors are going to put up they're going to put up points in bunches. So I'm looking forward to a shootout, man. I want to see, just like last year, I want to see a shootout, overtime. I want to see how many threes both these teams shoot combined. 50? Something crazy.
My team's already shooting 50 before, beforehand here. I just don't think Sacramento's gonna just have enough to stay with the Warriors when this is all said and done. The last time the Warriors and Kings played in a do or die game, number 30 dropped 50 in there easily here. And Sabonis has a hard time with Kevon Looney, with Draymond. And, he's still feeling the effects of getting the Draymond stomp done on him. So, and I think I think with this here as well, you do get Trace Jackson Davis here. It's a different Warriors team than we saw 3 months ago here. Brandon Pajemski as well, but the emergence of Jonathan Kuminga will be absolutely key here. He was a bit of a MIA person in that series last year, but I think for this year here, he's going to be one of those factor roles here because when the Warriors need a bucket, who do they rely on? They rely on Andrew Wiggins because he gets to the hoop. You're going to do the same with Jonathan Kuminga here. You got to be able to get a quick two to stop any sort of run that the Kings may have here. So him, and I'm gonna say Trace Jackson Davis just because I know he's gonna end up starting in this game against Sabonis here. So look, Sabonis is a double machine, 19 and 14. this year here. So it will be a bit of a challenge here. But I've seen Trace really step up to the plate when it comes to these challenges here. So should the Warriors get out of this first playing game, then the matchup of either the Pelicans
Or
or
the
the
Lakers.
Lakers.
Tough
And
road, man. Tough road.
quite honestly, I take that Laker matchup all day. I would take the Lakers just because of the fact that they don't defend that 3 point line. Um, the Pelicans gave the Warriors fits on that 3 point line here. The length of the Pelicans between Trey Murray, Zion Williams had his way
Oh, yeah.
with Andrew Wiggins, dude. Andrew Wiggins was just a shell of himself for most of that game there up until the game went on. But the Warriors, they don't do a really good job defending the 3 point line themselves. You know, a lot of the Pelican shooters just had too many wide open shots here,
Yeah.
and for some reason, a lot of teams when they play the Warriors end up being their best night of shooting the 3 point ball. So I just think that if the Lakers don't make it out of that first playing game, they want that matchup there because then they don't leave the state of California. You go up to SAC, down to LA, and you've got a legitimate chance to see OKC, who now they got a target on their back. Number one team in the West here, rightfully so here, potential MVP in Shea Gildress-Alexander. So that's not a bad matchup to have based off of your experience here. But if they get out, I need them to see the Lakers because if they don't, they see the Pelicans. That's a really tough matchup. But they've been also playing good on the road, so there's a lot of like moving pieces for the Warriors this year when it comes to this playing tournament. But I'm excited for it, man. This is going to define the rest of their dynasty right here. Because if they don't make it out of the playing tournament, I think you're going to see core pieces leave because they don't the room for winning is so small.
Yeah.
You can't afford another year like this. You just cannot.
Yeah, and they're on Curry's time. You know what I mean? And so since he's still playing at this high of a level, you got to find a way to put the right pieces around him to extend his prime as far as you can. Because as we all know, when you get these next level, once a generation players, once they go away, you're not getting another one walking through that door anytime soon.
No.
So they got to extend this as much as they can. But yeah, I agree with you, man. I think the Warriors have a great opportunity to defeat the Kings. I think they will end up playing the Pelicans because I just don't think the Pelicans are good. The Lakers aren't a good matchup for them. And it'll be interesting to see, can the Warriors do that? Can the Warriors get through both? They're going to have to play 2 games and get into the play-in. So it's going to be an uphill grind for sure. I'm sure Sabonis is going to try to somebody's going to try to agitate Draymond or something during this game to try to see if they
of course. Are you kidding?
Get a technical
Are you kidding?
Or get him ran. I can only imagine. I just hope there aren't any more stomps this time.
Here's how quickly Draymond will get a technical. By the first quarter, he's going to have a technical foul. There's no way he's keeping his cool in this game here. We've seen the way teams get under his skin. He's allowed guys like Donovan Mitchell to get underneath his skin. Who's the center for the Suns here? Nurkic.
Yep.
You allow Nurkic to get underneath his skin. Sabonis is that guy too.
He's got to keep it under control. If he gets a tech in the first half, that's not where you want to be. You know what I mean? Like it's a one game elimination. You gotta hope for, I guess. I'm not a Warriors fan, but you gotta hope for the best Draymond you can get, which is a Draymond that's focused on the game. And when he's locked in, he's one of the best defensive players in the league. It's just
the Draymond we need is the facilitator and the defensive Draymond. We don't need him to score. I mean, 6-7 points out of him would be 6-7 points would be fine. If we get 20 like he did last year against the Kings, even better. We need him on the defensive end.
Yeah.
We need him to lock down Sabonis here because that's he's going to be number one priority for him here.
Absolutely. So hopefully they get that done. Let's see. You want to take on the chat? Let's see if we got anybody.
Yeah, we got Glenn B. Sup, boys? What's up, Glenn? How you doing, man? He needs some help with some soccer bets for tomorrow. He's got Chelsea versus Everton and Atalanta versus Hellas Verona. Look, as we were talking this basketball talk, I looked it up here. So, Glenn B, here are your picks here. Ready? Look, man, whatever happens, I can't,
Can't vouch
don't
for it.
don't hold me accountable for it. But if I had to pick, if I was I am a betting man here, I'll take Chelsea here. They're 1.5 goal favorites against Everton. The over under total is 2.25 goals here. Take Chelsea. I like that.
Chelsea.
I would
Take
take
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Is it Chelsea? I'm
It's
sorry,
Chelsea.
man.
It's
I'm
all,
sorry.
no,
I
no,
do
no.
my
It's all
best
good,
sometimes.
man. It's all good.
I do my best here. Take Chelsea for that first one here, and then the second one, I like an underdog. So you're gonna go Hellas Verona in that game there. They are underdogs of I think it's a goal and a half.
Ooh,
So
okay.
take the underdog on that one. Take the favorite in the first one. Take the underdog in the second one here. So here I
Oh,
am
look
just
at
giving
look at that.
soccer picks here.
There you
Look at me,
go.
man.
Boom.
Oh, we got another one coming in. I'm gonna look this one up here. Let me see what we got going on this one here. But anyways, you can get back to the chat while I look this one up.
That's all right. Oh, okay. I see. Well, we got Mama Lay in the chat. What's up, Mama Lay? Saying hello, boys. How you doing? How you doing? And shout out and hello to Rachel, who was struggling trying to say hello to me. I could understand what she was saying. A lot of very gargly voice, saying something strange. I don't know what was going on. But anyway, hope you're doing well.
All right.
Did you find the line?
I'm trying to.
I'm trying to look it up
right
too.
now here.
Florentina and Genoa, right? Is that?
Is this what league is this here?
Dude,
Is this
I have no idea. I'm looking at it right now. I have no idea.
is this the English Premier? Yeah, I know
so.
what the English Premier is too.
You do.
So
Good for you.
I do, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, dude. I'm not seeing a line.
Hold on. They're playing Genoa?
Yeah.
Am I saying it right? Oh, here it is.
Sure.
Here it is. I found it.
Of course you are.
I found
Of course you're
it.
saying it right.
I mean, tell me if I am or not. All right. This one is for Ali. Let's see here. I'm waiting for this line to come up here. They're ACF. Oh my God, I'm gonna butcher this. I apologize, Ali. Here,
Dude, you're good.
Fiorentina. Fiorentina are goal favorites here. Because I'm having a struggle with pronouncing it. Take them. They're a goal favorite, so I would take that all day here for it here. Glenn B says this is the Italy league. Perfect.
Oh.
I guess I'll be tuning in because if you win, you let me know here. If you lose, don't hold it against me, my man.
Yeah.
I promise you, I'm doing my best here.
So maybe this is an untapped market. This is where we should be betting. It's on Italian leagues.
Hey,
is that on what are those sites called, or the betting sites? Can you actually find those?
It's on DraftKings. I'm looking at it on DraftKings right now here. But you know who should be gambling on this is Shohei Ohtani's interpreter. He'd be really good at this.
Can't gamble anymore. He's going to jail, isn't he?
Yeah, but they only sent him on a $25,000 bail, which is odd. You gamble $16 million and get put on a $25,000 bail. Like what? The math ain't mathing, man.
They're trying desperately not to make betting a crime anymore, man. If you had noticed, there's a big push to legalize betting any and everywhere.
And then Glenn B says we work on Unibet here, good betting site here. I might have to check that out there. But quick, Glenn, I know. Look, I gave you some soccer picks here. I'm going to give you a couple games to pick here on our end here. Taj is a Lakers fan. He's got the Lakers and the Pelicans. And obviously, I'm a Warriors fan. Warriors and Kings here. You tell us who you think out of those games, the two teams you think would walk out with those wins there. You let me know, and if I like what you're cooking with, I might take that with me here. So let's see what he's got for us. T.
Yeah, he's just saying, he's trying to tell you to bet on the Warriors. Is what it sounds like.
First of all, I did not say that. I just said those are the teams we root for. Who would you pick?
We'll see.
All right, let's get to the other playing games here. Let's talk about the East because we just covered the West here.
Seriously. Look at this garbage.
Let's talk about it. The 76ers here were once the top team in the East are now playing in the play-in tournament. They had Joel Embiid out for a very long time. I think it was like 2 months where he was out, and their season basically just spiraled out of control. They do get the Miami Heat, who come play in tournament time. Zero people want to play, to say the least here. Let's start with that matchup first here, T. Heat, 76ers. Who you got? Who you like? And
I
why?
hate to say it, but it is setting up again for the Heat to make a deep run. The Heat they're this sneaky team, the most sneakiest team in the league. They do this every other year, it seems, where they find themselves in the finals or the Eastern
Yeah.
Conference Finals. And we keep shying away from them. Everybody keeps ignoring them. And it's because they spend most of their season just kind of going through the motions. So Jimmy Butler's going to be back. You got Tyler Hero. I expect this team to ramp it up. Eric Spoelstra's an extremely good coach, especially in the playoffs. The 76ers have been backsliding for a month now. I expect the Heat to come in and handle business and beat the Sixers, which would put them against, look who they will play in the next round. The New York Knicks again. This is setting up for the Heat to make a deep run. So we'll see how it goes. But I don't think the Sixers have it in them to beat the Heat, man. They don't. Where's the motivation? They traded Harden. Embiid was looking like, he's gonna be an MVP, and then he gets injured, is off for a month. He's gonna, come back and play in a very highly contested game against a Heat team that just finds a way to win. I don't see it happening.
So here's my theory.
Mm.
The Heat want to take care of the Celtics one more time. And so the Celtics are the number one team in the East.
Mm.
I think the Heat end up losing this game. They win the 9-10 matchup. They go on and they take the Celtics out in the first round. I'm calling it right here.
Really? Wow.
I'm calling it.
Okay.
I'm calling it.
They lose the first game and win the second. I think they did that one. Didn't they do that?
They did it last year.
Yeah.
They did it last
year.
They
lost the first game and then they won.
Because they're going to host. They're going to host 2 games here. They are the 7 seed. So they're going to host those 2 games. So why not lose the first one? I mean, look, you got the Bulls and the Hawks as their 9-10 matchup. The Hawks don't have Trae Young. He's hurt for the rest, for the remainder. The Bulls are just, they're under 500.
What's going on with that dumpster fire?
Exactly here. So I think they can afford losing to the 76ers. I think they will play I think the 76ers are going to play inspired basketball here. So I would like that. I see them coming out with that there, but then they easily get that 9-10 matchup and they beat whoever. So I don't think we really care about that 9-10 matchup, do we?
Well, we can talk about it. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, the Bulls seemingly are the better team. The Hawks have been pretty bad throughout a majority of the season. It's a crappy matchup. I'm going to take the Bulls, though. I feel like the Bulls have some talent there. They got Caruso. They've been without Levine forever, who's been out for the season. They've got your boy DeMar DeRozan. They still got Vucevic. So they've got some talent. When I look at the Hawks, dude, I'm not seeing anything special, man. I mean, they're a team that belongs in the bottom of the East. Both these teams' records, 36 and 46. That's the Hawks record.
Jeez. Oh my God.
The Bulls' records is 39 and 43. These guys are in the play-in, and they have some really tough records. So I don't even know if I'm gonna watch that game. I don't really know.
I'm just gonna take the Bulls just for the matter of the fact that the Hawks just DeJounte Murray isn't really gonna.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all they have. I'm not really counting on them to really do much. So I'll take the Bulls in that game, but they lose to the Heat in the last playing tournament game to that there. So that'd do it there. But Glenn B with another chat here, man. We love having you in here. I have no clue about NBA, mate. I'm tuning in from the UK, different time zone. NBA playing midnight for me here. Hey man, yeah, Italy has a FIBA team, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I believe, yeah.
I think they do here. Yeah. So I think there's some good Italy talent. Who the Warriors have? I forgot. He was a 3-point specialist. Or he was.
Not me. I don't know.
Oh my God, it's good. He looked like Rocky. God, what's his name? It's gonna bug me right now. God bless it. Marco Bellinelli. There it
Oh,
is.
okay. Let me close
Yep.
it.
From the team from Italy there too. Marco Bellinelli was a high draft pick for the Warriors. Didn't turn out too well. He didn't have a good stint in the NBA here, but let alone he's one of the rare players from Italy here. So you got a little basketball. I just lost power in my house.
You did? Oh no. As the man just said, he just lost power. You know, how did we get the I lost power in my house when the power was out? We're gonna have to
So
question that. Is he back? Probably not. Not if he lost power in his house. B, if you can hear me, you're breaking up terribly and we cannot hear you, my friend. So we're gonna give B a chance to see if he can get his audio back up as he is experiencing some technical difficulties. Sounds like he's okay though. Apparently, from his last words were the power went out. First off, and again, I'll put this to the chat. Now it's got me on here twice. Let's dim that out, folks. Is that even possible? Is that possible? Is it possible to say that the power went out when the power's gone out? Is it possible? I don't know if it is. We're gonna try to wait to see if he can get back on. Hopefully, maybe he has some cell service and he can utilize his cell phone and get back on if possible. But thanks, Black Vanguard, for jumping in, man. How you doing? How you doing, brother? Just got done talking about we're still hustling on the NBA. Talking about the East, which is an absolute dog water garbage. Heat versus Sixers, Hawks and Bulls. Ugh. The next topic we want to discuss really is the Thunder and the Celtics and the two top teams that are playing. And ultimately, the Thunder. I mean, kind of a surprise. I mean, this team was actually pretty good last year too. But to see them in the top seed, it's both good, but also, kind of predictable. I'd like to remind everybody that last year there was a different number one seed, I think they were number two. But the Memphis Grizzlies had made a huge rise in the standings and were almost a number one seed as well. Didn't fare too well in the playoffs. So it'll be interesting to see. OKC was in the playoffs before, so this is not their first time. We'll be curious to see how they play going forward, especially if they're going to be taking on the likes of either Sacramento Kings or the Golden State Warriors. I think the Warriors would be a very good matchup for a young team like that to test themselves, see if they can move forward. But I really like what Oklahoma does. They got Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, SGA has been phenomenal. Mid-range machine, can get to the hole. He's not a guy that's supremely athletic or quick, but he's one of them dudes that could just find a way to put the ball in the basket. So I think that's a great team. And we're going to go in the chat here. So from Black Vanguard, he said he went out. Yes, he did. Thunder is very much a surprise. Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know if the Thunder will do the same type of play in the playoff. Great team, though. Yeah, I think that's the issue, is if they play one of these veteran teams, that's the question mark. I mean, the difference between what's happening in the East and happening in the West is the West has been so good that you have teams like the Pelicans, the Lakers, and the Warriors at the bottom of the heap with superstar talent. So the Warriors obviously have Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins and Kuminga have been playing fairly well. And so if you're the first round team, you're feeling good about yourself, you played a great regular season, now you got to play 4-time champion Steph Curry, and that's going to be tough. Or you end up having to play LeBron James and Anthony Davis in a seven game series. So that's where things get a little tough if you're the Thunder. So it'd be interesting to see how they do. It'd be interesting to see it. Now, as far as the Celtics, look, we got to give the Celtics some love. Or no, I guess we don't. I'm a Laker fan. I don't really like the Celtics, but we have to point out the fact that they had a very, very good season this year. They made a trade or two. They got Kristaps Porzingis in the fold, who gave them an offensive lift. They still got your boy old Al Horford still over there kicking up dust, and obviously you got Tatum and Brown, who are shouldering the heavy load. But the really important part of the team that this was first off, this is a big mistake by the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics, by the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks, if folks don't know, obviously traded for Dame Lillard, traded with Portland. A person who wasn't that player who wasn't that trade was Holiday, Drew Holiday. So Drew Holiday was a part of the trade for Dame Lillard, and then the Boston in turn traded for Holiday to get him to the Boston Celtics. There's no way the Bucks should let that happen. Because that guy, he's a guy who can defend twos and threes and sometimes ones, and helps bolster a Celtics defense that's already pretty darn good. So, I mean, him being on that team and really being at the helm of the defense there with a team that's already pretty well coached, and has been playing together for quite some time, this is the Celtics' opportunity to get back into the finals. Mama Lay, that is a great question. Where is your son? I don't know. He said the lights went out. So Mama Lay, is that true? Are you there? Did the lights really go out? I don't know where he is. Tell him to hop back on. I don't know where he said he has no power. I'm assuming he meant electricity. The Black Vanguard, we got chiming in. I totally agree with you, brother, 100%. And we got, I don't know I don't know where the guy went. He said his power went out. That was his famous last words. He said, "Oh man, the power went out," and then he disappeared. So I'm assuming that's what happened. So we're gonna try to see if we get this man back on. But while we're doing that, let's go ahead and let's talk about some of the other matchups for the folks who actually played well during the regular season and are not participating in the play-in. And that would be, starting in the West, we've got some very, very interesting matchups. First, the Clippers and the Mavericks. The Clippers got hot, man. Got hot. And then cooled off as we got towards the end of the season. The Mavericks, after the All-Star break, went ballistic. If folks remember, they were in like the 7th, 8th seed. They shot themselves all the way up to the fifth spot, winning 50 games. With Luka Doncic going crazy. You got Kyrie Irving in the mix there. The pickup of PJ Washington, excellent, has been giving them a huge lift. The Clippers and the Mavericks, I don't know who to pick. And the 4-5 matchup generally is that way. These teams are close in record. But my money's on the Mavericks because I'm a Lakers fan, and I'm not going to root for the Clippers. Forget the Clippers. The Clippers have been waddling around. What is this? The 5th, 6th season with this Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, all these guys on the same team. And, James Harden just showed up this year. But James Harden also showed up in Brooklyn with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving as well. Not like that did anything. Then he went to Philly, showed up with Embiid, did nothing. So here he is bringing his playoff curse to the Clippers, which is already a cursed franchise. I'm not looking for the Clippers to do anything. I'm curious what y'all got to say on that chat. Again, failed experiment. They haven't really done anything with this talent. I don't think they will. I think the Mavericks are coming in hot. I think the Mavericks are playing at an all-time high. They've got some gunners on their team, guys that can really put the ball in the bucket. Now, I will say the Mavericks are not known to play defense, so I want to put that out there. Whereas the Clippers with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard can defend, but I don't believe that either one of those guys can handle guarding Luka one-on-one. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But the Mavs can put up points, man. And I think they've got enough offensive firepower to win any game against any team. So it'll be interesting to see how they come up against the Clippers. I am taking the Mavericks, though, for sure. For sure. Let me see. I'm going to try to collect this, man. See if I can get him back on this phone. See if I can. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. B is just. I just lost him, man. He's gone. What happened to him? All right, let's get into the chat here. It says, let's see. Let's go back to the Heat. Yes. Oh. Okay. So Mama Lay has confirmed power lost in the middle of what seems to be a very mild day. I don't even know if it's raining out there for y'all, Mama Lay. Not here. And poof, he was gone. Yep. B, you're gone. Where are you? And we got Black Vanguard in here. Heat have done this before. They have. They have definitely. They've made runs like this a few times. And all right. We might have an incoming here. Let me see if I can get this man going. Get him back into the fold. All right. Let's see. Pardon our dust, folks. Pardon our dust. We're trying to get my man B back in here. He is. I think so. Hold on a second. I gotta find you. All right, try that again, sir. Oh. Hold on, B. We're still getting B in here. Hold on, B. I gotta capture you so everybody can hear you. Bear with me. Boom! Look at that. And with the magic of the internet.
Yo, am I back?
Yes, you have returned. Yes, we can hear you. You have returned. The man is back. I had to actually confirm with your mama the power went out.
The power here. Get ready to have dinner. The power's out.
Oh man!
I have no idea what happened, man.
Is it raining out there or something? Is it some bad weather or what?
I'm looking out the window. It's clear skies.
Oh my gosh!
The ground is wet. I don't know.
All right. Well.
So, anyways, what we getting caught up on? Catch me up.
Well, I'm getting caught up on the chat, man, because the chat is discuss the fact that you disappeared. But we got my brother Black Vanguard in here. Says and then we got, I don't know if this was this you chiming in on the B&T one?
Oh yeah, that was me.
All right, and then so Black Vanguard with injuries. What is wrong with the Bulls? Yeah, obviously with Zach LaVine out, interesting to see what happens with that. And then Black Vanguard again. I feel like anyone who faces the Heat will be in trouble. A team with nothing to lose every year. They improve it absolutely, and the Bulls will not make the play-in. I mean the Bulls are garbage. And then we got Baby X.
That's why the Celtics.
Oh, he's trying to get
Baby
back.
X out first.
He's trying to get back on with his phone. That's you.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
You still got me?
Yeah.
You still got me?
Here. You're still here. And it says, okay, so so you're here. And then Ali, close the door, please. It's annoying. Yeah, it's annoying me too. I'm not the one opening it. I don't even know why it's open. Ali, you want to put?
He's got a ghost in the house.
You want to put a ghost hand through the screen and close it for me? Jeez. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Where were we?
Where
were we with everything? What do I need to get caught?
Well, I mean, we're just talking about the rest of the playoffs and who we have matched up here. So, for instance, we already talked about the play-in for the East, and just like that, he's gone. Forgive us, folks. This show is riddled with not only fun chat, but I think he's back. And And it could be because the internet service. We'll see. B, are you there? Can you hear me? Man, we are having fun today. But as I was discussing, the rest of the matchups for the West are going to be absolutely amazing. And the other one being the Suns and the Timberwolves, which didn't even get a chance to talk about that because we were talking about the Mavs and the Clippers. But if you look at the Timberwolves, that's another team, much like Oklahoma City, brand new. They're in a whole new territory being a 3 seed. This is the same team that was in the play-in last year. And with the emergence of Ant Edwards, they are ready to make some noise. However, they got to go up against this 3-headed monster that really has been up and down all season. And that's Kevin Durant, the here and there Bradley Beal. Sometimes he's playing, sometimes he's not. And then of course, Devin Booker, who was already on the Suns. So I think that's going to be a great matchup as well between those teams. A lot of star power for the Suns. I don't like how the Suns have really played this season, although a lot of it could be attributed to injury. They've kind of been up and down with Beal, like I said, going in and out of the matchup or off the team in the injury report. Devin Booker has been good, but he's also been in and out. KD's probably been the most consistent player they have. And they've got some good shooting around those guys with Grayson Allen. So they're a good team. A team that's not that great on defense, but Minnesota's not bad either. It's defensively, mainly because they've got the Eiffel Tower on their team standing tall in the middle with Gobert, who can get some block shots. And I'm assuming Big Cat will come back at some point and play. He's another question mark. We talked earlier about their injuries, so be curious to see if he comes back and play in that series. But again, full of stars, and Edwards' opportunity to shine. Guys, he's been that guy most of this season. How's he going to look in the playoffs? So I think that's a question all of us will be looking to answer. Then we got Black Vanguard in here with laughing at the fact he's saying B is a magician. Yes, he is making himself reappear and disappear. And Black Vanguard again, we will see how the Suns will play in the playoffs. I didn't see much during the season. Yeah, that's the thing with same thing with the Warriors, right? The Warriors they've got all these veterans on their team. Now, don't get me wrong, the Warriors obviously have played together, that core group, much longer, but they are a little longer in the tooth for sure. And so those guys can get hot. I mean, Bradley Beal's never won a championship, neither is Devin Booker. So those are guys that can get hot at the drop of a dime and and really put up some points on you. But we got to give credit to Minnesota, because I thought they were frauds. I mean, when they were at the top of the West, middle of the season, early in the season, I was like, nah, it's the Timberwolves, man. Come on. It's the Timberwolves. They're not going to do anything. Well, they proved me wrong. They continue to be a good team. They're pretty good defensively, especially in the middle, with the addition of Gobert, which I thought was a weird trade. But hey, who am I? They're getting it done. So we'll see if they can continue to do that. This will be very sad for the Suns if they get bounced out in the first round. This is a team, another attempt at a big three, which, as far as I can tell, outside the Boston Celtics, have been an absolute failure. That and obviously the Kevin Durant going to the Warriors, which was just a cheat code. But ever since then, I mean, we've seen this a couple of times, right? Like we saw it with the Brooklyn Nets. Guys trying to team up. We saw Russell Westbrook join the Lakers. Harden just did it again and joined the Clippers. I just don't think it's not working. The chemistry's not there. So we'll see if the Suns can change that and actually take the talent that they have and push it all the way to the finals. I doubt it. I think KD needs to. I don't know what KD has made some interesting choices after leaving the Warriors. We could talk about his career another time, but I don't know, man. I don't know. So Black Vanguard, thank you for chiming in and keeping us moving, man. I feel like the T-Wolves are just like the Grizzlies last year. They can be beaten, and I agree. Mainly because they're playing against a team that has a lot of star power. And if those guys can get off offensively and shoot the lights out, yeah, they can realistically beat the Timberwolves. Timberwolves are not used to being in this position. They've got Mike Conley, who has some experience in the playoffs. Gobert, who has some limited experience in the playoffs. But other than that, I mean, most of those guys are newer players, especially your star in Edwards. So the question is, how will he play? And then Black Vanguard, again, overall, they have had an amazing season. Yes, they have. So we're going to try to see. I'm going to try to see as my voice cracked because I'm 15 again. I'm going to try to see if I can be back into the fold here while I'm talking. If not, then we'll continue through the rest of what we kind of want to discuss. I didn't get over to the East. The matchup in the East, I'm not that impressed. I'm not that impressed with any of these matchups. I'm not going to lie to you right now. The Cavs and the Magic. Has anybody seen the Cavs play? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Anybody seen? Well, have you seen either one of these teams play? Anybody? Show of hands. Anybody seen Orlando Magic play? Has anybody watched the highlight? Even ESPN Sports Center highlight of the Orlando Magic. I mean, maybe they have one or two, maybe. I have no idea what to expect from the Magic playing against the Cavs. That could go either way. Both of them are very young teams. You know, obviously the Cavs with Donovan Mitchell and who else they got on there? Mobley. You got Jared Allen on that team. They definitely got some talent. So do the Magic. With Anthony and what's that guy's name? Blanchero. There you go. On their team they got some talent too. So that could go either way. Not exciting though. And maybe that's why I should watch it, because there aren't any stars. It's probably the better game to watch because you'll get these young, talented guys really going all out and doing their thing. Bucks and the Pacers. Not excited about either one of these teams either. Both these teams have backslid their way into the bottom half, or at least the Pacers have, and the Bucks. I don't know what the Bucks fired their coach, Adrian Griffin, halfway through the season. They haven't been any better. Dame hasn't been any better. Giannis is still Giannis. And, Giannis has some type of calf strain, which is even more alarming. Hopefully he's going to play. They're saying he will. But even if he is going into playoffs with an injury, yeah, that puts some things in question. Now, the one thing they got going for them is the Pacers have no idea how to play defense. None. The only way the Pacers win is if they put up 150 points. Halliburton, a monster. They picked up Siakam. Hey, great. But that team has not played defense ever in this entire season. I don't expect them to now. The Bucks at least have the veteran leadership around them with Giannis and with Middleton and guys that have been in these positions before that can make some plays. Dame also obviously has tons of experience in the playoffs. It just hasn't been a good fit. I do see the Bucks beating the Pacers, though. I just don't, long term, though, I don't see the Bucks getting any further. I don't see them going into that next matchup and making something happen. But we'll see. We'll see. It'd be a disappointing season for them. But, again, you're trying to throw teams together. It may or may not work out. All right. Let me head back to the chat, see if we got anything going on. Yeah, exactly. Black Vanguard we haven't seen the Cavs or Magic play. I don't think anybody has. I had no clue they were in the playoffs. The Orlando. Right, that's what I thought. Orlando's in the playoffs? Yes, Orlando is in the playoffs. Then hopefully the power will come back. It will, but it ain't coming back soon. Mama Birdie, thank you for the update. Mama Birdie with the power outage update. We are still without power. And they said we have PG&E, so fat chance it will be anytime. So that's right, folks. PG&E, making money hand over fist. They are not concerned. Not concerned. And they're in California where they could charge the most money. They don't care. They're like, whatever. You don't have any power? Use your phone. See if we care. Oh, man. Well, folks, it's less likely I'm going to be back on the show. So I'm going to go ahead and close this thing out with one more topic to discuss. And I didn't get a picture of it. But did anybody see the Allen Iverson trophy, or excuse me, statue? So for folks who don't know, the 76ers Philly put a statue outside this, outside their practice facility. Not even the stadium. Not even the stadium. They put a picture of a statue of Allen Iverson outside the practice facility. The man who famously said, "Practice? We talking about practice." They put his statue in front of the practice facility. That's strike number one. Strike number two. The man's statue is play school size. Play school size. What does that mean? It's small. It's real small. If you look it up, I want everybody to look it up right now. If you look at this, it looks like a child. It looked like they got kid with a grown man face out in front of the practice facility, holding the basketball, about to do a crossover. Right. They got Little Mike out there. Bow Wow. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But they don't got Allen Iverson out there. I don't know what this is, but this is completely disrespectful to AI, who is an icon, mind you. Right? Icon. That statue is garbage. I mean garbage. First off, Philly ought to be ashamed of themselves for even putting that out there like that. This is one of the best players y'all have had in a 76er uniform. It's no wonder the Sixers haven't won a championship in 5,000 years. Because they made a kid. They put a kid. They bronzed up a kid real quick. They bronzed up an AAU player, put a headband on it, and made him do a crossover. Y'all can't get a grown man statue? A grown man statue and put out there? All y'all needed was a grown man, I'm a Laker fan. If you go to crypto.com arena right now, there are all kinds of statues out there. And I guarantee you, they are all full size. Shaq, Kareem, Magic, Chick Hearn, Oscar De La Hoya, Kobe Bryant. They're all out there. All out there. They're all out there. So there's room. There's no excuse why Allen Iverson's trophy is that small and why it's in front of a practice facility. Anybody want to guess the full-size statue they do have in Philly? Everybody knows this. It's the one at the top of those steps. Y'all know what I'm talking about. None other than Rocky Balboa. A fictional character. Not even a real person. But they gonna give my man Allen Iverson the 12-year-old AAU Allen Iverson statue. Or 13-year-old AAU Allen Iverson, whatever. It's ridiculous. And honestly, I mean, I saw Allen Iverson's response. He looked a little frazzled too. He was like, "What is this trash y'all putting up here?" Because it certainly is not me. It certainly is not me. And that's crazy. And again, y'all, take a look at that. Let me know what y'all think. I think it's absolutely terrible that they would do that to one of the best players. Actually, I'm gonna put it up on screen so y'all can see it. So that y'all can see the ridiculousness. Look at this. Look at this. Look what? That's crazy, man. It's very. He looks tiny, but his head is big. It's disrespectful, and honestly, I hope somebody from Philly knock it over in the middle of the night. Terrible. We shouldn't be disrespecting people like that, especially not Allen Iverson. Should be ashamed of themselves. But anyway, y'all go ahead and check that out. Again, if you're a Laker fan like me, all of our greats get full statues out front. They all look magnificent. But apparently, if you're a great player, I'm expecting Joel Embiid's trophy statue to be the same size. Same size. It's not going to be accurate. I mean, if we going to make Allen Iverson 4 feet tall, then Joel Embiid got to be 4 feet tall. It just looks stupid. You can't see it here, but the sad part is his shoes are still adult size though. So the whoever set up the parameters and just the specs on they messed it all up. It's terrible. Terrible. Oh my goodness. Just terrible. Anyway, y'all check that out. Let me know what y'all think. Yeah, we got Black Bandar chiming in with Al was even surprised at how little it was. And he had to walk around it just to make sure. I'm telling you, he's probably thinking this, will they put a statue of my son out here? Why? Oh my gosh. But on that note, folks, we're going to go ahead and end the show there. Unfortunately, B was struck with a power outage at the end of the evening here. Thank y'all for joining us. We will be back on Friday with picks for the playoffs and getting ready for that. And then, of course, our show on Sunday. We will be locked and loaded and with electricity this time. We're going to have some electricity for y'all. at least for B. Oh, man. All right, y'all. Well, y'all have a good evening. Until next time, peace.